No matching embellishments? Not a problem. That just means we get to be creative. Hi friends, and welcome back to part 2 of my embellishment series. So my goal for this year was to not spend a lot of money on anything until I made a huge dent in what I already have. So since it's February, what I wanted to do is I wanted to start using a new paper pack. So before I can actually make the embellishment clusters that go with this paper pack, I have to do some prep work, and that's what we're going to do in this video. All right, so the first thing I do is I choose one piece of paper from the pack that has all the colors in it. Next, I take my little ink swatch that I've made, where these are all the ink colors that I have in their name. And then I will go through them and I will choose which inks match each paper. Or I'm sorry, which inks match the colors that come in this paper pack. So for example, I have these two inks. These are actually old inks, but they actually work really, really well. So I have these two in a mint color, and then I have two different reds, a dark red and a light red. So I know that these inks match this paper. The next thing I do is I pull my stamp book. Let me grab that. This is how I organize my stamps. I keep them in a 3-ring binder. I've taken a picture of the first page, or the cover of all my stamps, and then I put them in these paper protectors. Hopefully you can see that in that glare. Sorry, I can't do much about that. But I label them by number, and then I keep them in a file system. So I know it's Valentine's, so what I want to do is I want to flip through these, and I'm going to go to the Valentine's section or the love section, and I'm going to pull all of the stamps that are Valentine related. Or if any of the stamps have something that I want, like I know this one has a heart, and it says I'll go anywhere with you, I know this would be a good stamp to use. So then I go pull all of my stamps. For example, I just pull them out. Then the next thing I do is I go through each stamp and I stamp at least 6 of each one. And I'm not going to lie, it does take a long time, but I don't mind it taking a long time because I like to stamp. If for some reason I get to a stamp and there's just too many on there, then that's when I use my MISTI, and I'll put all of the stamps on the MISTI, and then that way I can stamp like the entire section, 6 times versus 36 times. All right, so I pulled all my stamps, and I take my stamp colors, and then I start stamping them on a sheet of paper. So the ones that I know I want to color, I will stamp in black, and then the ones that I want they're solid colors or they're semi-solid, then I will actually stamp them in each of the colors. So let me show you those, because some I've already cut out, but like I stamped all of these gnomes that I wanted, and I went ahead and colored them to match the color palette. And then I know I like to use a lot of butterflies, so I stamped each one of those in the ink color. And then these are the ones that I still have yet to color, as you can see. So I've done that. Then after that, I die cut them out, or I fussy cut them out. And then I put them in these little containers. So this container's floss. It holds us floss threads, but at the Dollar Tree, they have one for hardware, which is $1.50, and it's actually really great. So as I cut them out, I separate them and I put them in here, and I have one more to show you. You see, I've actually been working on it for a day. So you can see how many I've already done, and then these are the ones I still have to do. Okay, so I need to cut all of the rest of these out, so I'll be ready for part 3 of this embellishment series. So these embellishment prep has been done, my money has been saved, and my stash has been used. Thank you so much for staying for the end of the video. Please like and subscribe if you like, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.